everyone, welcome back to another episode with me, Bellfire, and today we're back in Oxygen Not Included. I know this episode is late already. I've apologized for that in the previous episode. And, well, all I'm going to say is this will be interesting, this episode, because it's a Friday special. I'm going to be continuing Oxygen Not Included into this week, the week I'm uploading this video, the week of the 3rd. So, yes, I know this will be coming out late. I am incredibly sorry about that, but as I explained in the last episode, I got really busy, lost track of time, didn't have time to record. So, what I'm doing now is what I was waiting to do was completely vacuum out this entire area, but that's taking a lot longer than I wanted. So what I'm doing now is I've changed my initial plan from doing what I wanted to do at first to doing what should get done. And what I'm doing right now is basically filling up this tank and pushing, or my plan is to push the rest of the air out. But this should be interesting. But I will keep this active for now until I have most of the magma I need filled up. It'll probably compress the oxygen and polluted oxygen that's in here, but I guess we'll have to wait and see. And yes, I have access to space. I went over that in the last episode, and I've been using this as my main source of obsidian right now, which seems to have been working fairly well. Ah, okay. That can be probably like a 6. Also, one other thing I did was I connected my two lines that are running from side to side of the world. So now I have one solid path going from left all the way to right. The only thing is, well, now I'm just simply waiting on the oil wells to be built. Which reminds me, I should probably build it. Also, as you can see, it's a lot later. Again, most of that time was just simply waiting for this area to be vacuumed out. It didn't work like that. And what I'm going to do, which is probably really dangerous for whichever duplicate's deciding to work, I'll go ahead and go like that. And here we go. This is probably a really bad idea. But I want to go ahead and know when this thing's going to erupt and so on and so forth. And the only way to do that is to analyze it, which will be fun. I am already highly concerned. Ah, igneous rock, I see. Obsidian. Are you doing that? Yep, you are. Okay, Gossman. Only thing. Not right there. Turner, what are you doing? Ranching supply, construction supply, ranching. You're eating. Research. I wish you luck, George. Oh, that's gonna take a while. Okay. Well, I'll leave George to do that. I will be doing my best to keep an eye and ear out for him. Because I don't remember the last time it erupted. So it could erupt in 3 seconds. It could erupt in another 100 cycles. Yeah, as for this, it's just taking so long. But it's slowly getting through everything. That's the important part. That all of this air will eventually be out. It may be taking a long time right now, but it all will be eventually out, which is really all that matters for me. And it is idle, which is good. And cycle 1055 report. Disease status. I'll take fried mushrooms. Okay, let's see. Work time, travel time, personal time. Okay. Idle time 0. Good. Wild critters, domesticated, errands, disease status, calories generated. Okay, so I gained calories this one. And day before I lost, gained. Okay, so if I were to guess today, there's going to be a lot more calorie gain. And if not, then I may need to expand the ranch farm or hatch farm. Oh, yeah, this is a very dangerous game. Mainly because magma comes out at 1700 degrees, and carrying capacity, insulation thickness, specific heat capacity, nope. Status? Bio? No, I don't think so. Nope. Skills? I don't think so. Germs, that's a no, and then temperature. Well, the melting point is 9,700. Oh well, I'm not sure. But this is a fairly important thing to get done, and Nicola's coming to finish up what George was close to finishing, but let me see. Turns back into magma at 2,700. That's why you use obsidian for this and nothing else. Because it won't melt. I see. Uh-oh. Yeah, no, I'm more concerned about the, airflow tile made out of gold amalgam. Okay. Construction. Critical. Next dormancy. Oh, will erupt in 2.5 cycles. How wonderful. Make that critical. Along with that. How much steel? I have 50 kilograms of steel. That is not good. 2.5 cycles and this thing will erupt. Okay, good to know. So, properties steel. What? Okay. Same amount for the serum vial. Okay, I don't know if I should be excited or concerned about that. Sun nymph. Oh, sun nymph. Okay. I don't know how I feel about that. Also, I should probably go ahead and make all these out of steel. Unfortunately, I only have enough to make one out of steel. Unless I go like this, for example, and... So copper melts at 1,000, or gold melts at 1,000. Index, elements, solid. Copper ore, 1,000. Copper, 1,000 still. Gold, 1,000. Uh-oh, this isn't looking good. Iron ore, 15. Okay, so I think I know what I will temporarily use as a substitute. Iron. This truly needs to get done. But now I know exactly when it'll erupt, which makes my life a whole lot easier. And really, I'm just waiting for the very last bit of just air to get either sucked into space or pumped into it. And I mean, it's working for the most part. It's a little bit slow, but it's working. Which really, that's all I'm worried about. Okay. Thankfully, it's fairly quick. Okay, and I will be back as soon as this thing erupts. So I will see all of you when that happens. Bye for now. Okay, I'm back, and here we go. Oh, instantly heating up. Oh, yeah, that's heating up, all right. So, okay. What I will do is set that to 1. And that should allow pretty much all of that air to be pushed out. "15 cycles it'll erupt again. It'll erupt again. In 15 cycles. Honestly, that's not too bad. Uh-oh. What's wrong? Don't tell me I need to move this entire thing over 1. Because if I do, that's some really bad news. Okay. Well, this is working. At least for now. I mean, it could also be because of the air in there. Which honestly I wouldn't be too surprised of. But I mean, also, if desperately needed. No, it's from... Yeah, no, that should be working. Yeah, it should be working from here to here. Okay, well, this is, for the most part, working. So what I will do is, I guess I will just simply... Oh, I know. I'll monitor the construction of this pipeline, just simply to see how far it's gotten. Which, if I'm being perfectly honest, it's gotten very far. Huh. Okay. So, I have access to these mini gas pumps, and they require supply of gas in a gas output pipe. Must be immersed in gas. Oh, I get it. It's a small 2-block thing. It requires 60 watts. Plus the 240 times 3. 240 times 3 plus 60 is 900 watts. Okay. A natural gas generator produces 800 watts. Okay, so... So the generator can power, at the bare minimum, the oil wells. At the very bare minimum. As for the pumps, I could probably take from... Yeah, the potential power consumed is at 4 kilowatts. I don't want to do that. Ooh, things are getting a little bit hot. Yes. Uh-oh. I don't think that was supposed to happen. Oh, don't tell me all of those are going to do the same thing. Please. Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be coming down. Yeah, this is probably the best position for this entire thing to get vacuumed out. Unfortunately, but you do what you can. And I mean, milligrams, more milligrams, even more. Everything's in the milligram range now, so it shouldn't be too much longer. And I mean, really, one of these large pumps costs how much? Oh. So one of these large ones, 240, but can supply 500 grams per second. 50 grams per second, but for 60. I honestly think these micro ones are... So it's 60 watts, so a fourth of the power for a tenth of the gas output, right? Yeah. So 4 of these small ones only equal up. Okay, yeah, so no, it is not even. I thought it was. It is most definitely not. Okay. Hmm. 14 cycles. I cannot believe that. Okay, well, I do need to get a lot more of these, I will say. I need to get a lot more of them. Okay. As for this system over here, I'm really just waiting on the steel. That's really all I'm waiting on. And then as for this little pipeline, I'm waiting on, I think, that last little bit. So you know what? Go ahead and max that out. Get that done, please. Okay, as for these down here. So, crude oil, heat is 2 kDTUs per second. Overheat, auto inputs. Water pumped into an oil reservoir cannot be recovered. Okay. Alright. That does not tell me where everything else goes, though. Yeah, 13 cycles. Wow. I'm honestly surprised. I expected the insulated gas tile to be a lot hotter. But you know what? If I go to base, mechanized, can that be made? That can be made. Basically, what I'm going to do is I'm going to force all of the air out of here. I don't know how well it'll work, but that's my plan at least. And I'm really hopeful it works. And I mean, plus, it's only iron, so... And iron melts at 1,500. So, if I say trigger it, gold amalgam, please. And let me guess. Either it's because there's nowhere near enough, or either it's that there's nowhere near enough magma, or I just need to adjust the length. I am hoping that it's the lack of magma, but I could be wrong. And in the case that I am, that's a fairly simple fix. Also, that is really draining all of the heat. I don't want that. Okay, please hurry up. Thank you, George. Oh. That technically works. I will say most of... What? What did I do? I didn't do anything. Power wire. No, automation wire. Automation. What? Huh? What happened? It's not like the automation wire melted. I can say for certain that isn't the case. But as for what exactly happened, I have no idea. And I'm just going to wait for people to do their thing. But now, if it's already all hooked up, there we go. Yeah, no. What? What? Liquid lead? I want... steel. Okay. I think I accidentally had that automation wire as lead, which would explain why it, well, melted. That would explain it. Weird. Oh, that's at 2,000 degrees now. Okay. That should be fine. I am highly concerned. Well, hey, now I have a decent chunk of steel. Okay, so the oil's getting very, very hot. That is not good. But that also means I can build more of this. Okay, as soon as it decides to load. And for this, I can't use lead because if I use lead, then it's going to break. Or it's going to melt, I should say. Not break. Six. Okay, there we go. More eggshells coming in. I mean, really, this just needs to run around inside here a lot more before it goes back in. But this radiant pipe is tungsten. I completely forgot I could use that. All right. So what I'll do is disconnect that. And then just simply, how am I going? Probably have it go like this. Deconstruct that one. Copy this. So that goes up, over, down, all the way across, back, up, and over. Ooh. Don't tell me I'm out of... Okay, I'll go ahead and make maybe like... I'll say 20. More batches of tungsten. And see how that treats me. That is what I was worried about. Yeah. Fairly hot petroleum spilling out of the machine just simply due to the fact that, it got too hot. That's basically what that was. Okay, how's this lead doing? It has equalized. Oh no. Yeah, it's going to keep leaking. Yeah, this radiant cooling pipe can wait a while. What, is it hot? How hot is it? I mean, it's only 134. You've experienced much hotter. Primarily. Up here now, that magma's actually flowing. But, yeah, I just need to get a whole lot more geotuners. Unfortunately, skill required, yada, yada, yada. Anyway, geotuners need to be in a laboratory, which, no, there we go. 2 science buildings, a light source, no industrial machinery, and max size of 120 tiles. Oh, I can make this room a lot bigger. So if I were to remake this, I'll probably make it like, maybe over here. And let me see. Ah, okay. F6 is what I meant, not F2. All these liquid pumps. The thermal nullifier and that pipe. Okay, anyway. Oh. Okay, that is weird. Oh, because it's disabled. That's right. Well, I mean, hey, if it's still too hot, I can use the rock crusher to make some more tungsten. That is if I don't have enough. Which, honestly, I might not. I don't have enough. Wonderful. And I already disassembled the previous cooling loop. Okay, so that's 26 radiant pipe. Okay. 26 times, how much is each one? 50. 1,300. Okay. And this makes 50 per. So that's 26 times. Okay. There we go with that. 10 cycles. Oh boy. I mean, it's easy enough to get back in here to fix this. It's not safe, but it's easy enough to just take away that block and be done with it. I'm curious. After I check this, I would go with something, but not yet because I'm teetering, or I'm on the edge with food as it is. What I was saying is, 1 and 1. so it's completely even. Neat. Man, that is annoying. And nothing I do will make it work, right? Yeah, I didn't think so. Unfortunate. Oh well. You can only do what you can. Which is really just wait for all this to be vacuumed out. Or I could vacuum it out. I would just need a little bit of crude oil. That's a lot of crude oil. I mean, like a very, very tiny bit. Like empty that and then bottle it back up to then just put it up there and just have a pump running. Even though, yeah, it'll probably be like a 60 watt pump, it'll still be a pump nonetheless. What I want is not that one. I'll go the entire thing, yeah. Aren't you going to go help with that? Okay. You know what? You do you. Ah, no. Everyone else is coming to help. Oh, that's actually perfect. Yeah, only a couple grams. Yeah, that's exactly what I wanted. So then this one I will have moved up to there. And that needs to be a critical priority. So it, again, gets done, but... Okay, only fertilization with all those. Okay. I remember before it was a massive heat issue. Thankfully, that seems to be fixed, even though my base is still warm. Although, around here seems to be cooler. Like a lot. As for those outputting I don't know where the natural gas would come from in this system. Because it's all filled with water. So I guess the only way to know would be to fill it. Oh no! Really? It's gonna be that. Okay, I see. Well then. Good to know. That is incredibly annoying. Back pressure release threshold. What? Duplicates will be requested to release when it exceeds 75%. Oh, okay, so it has an internal tank and then the back pressure gets automatically released. I see. Okay. So if I were to set up an automated system with that, that would be at least what? Each one having their own liquid locks, so 3 liquid locks, which again are easy enough to make. I mean, I'm making one right now. My hope is that it doesn't cascade down, because if it does, then I'll have to pick up that mess, which I don't want to do. Now with that crude oil there, I can go ahead and go into ventilation, take a miniature gas pump, I don't need a high pressure, I just need a regular gas pump. And just boom, boom, boom. That's simple. All priority 9, so it gets done, and there we go. That is how I will vacuum out this area. Or finish vacuuming it out. 9.4 cycles, okay. The only thing is this, I don't think has a very high overheat temperature. Alright. 75 degrees. And that's the only material I can make it out of. Thankfully, none of the air... Oh. I was going to say, thankfully, none of the air is too hot. I lied. Unfortunately, some of the air is very hot. Honestly, I think that one would be good for... Yeah, I think this one would be good for right here. Okay. Yes, this is an emergency to get that done because I need it to be done. Okay. 165. Let me see. 12,000 calories were made. 1,000, 6,000, 3. I would say I'm on an upward trend, but I'm not entirely sure. And there we go. Doing exactly what I wanted. I think rather it's actually emptying out the rest of the pressure in here very, very quickly. Thankfully, it's all one element, but still, it's going very, very fast. Oh, that is very, very hot. Uh-oh. Well, this is gonna melt. I mean, I could move it over to here, but why take up more space? Honestly, it might be... You know what? Due to how small of a... How little gas these pumps are getting, I should probably just switch it over to the mini gas pump. Because although, yes, it may be less gas, it is much more power efficient. Yeah, from about 2,000 to 9. So about 2 kilograms, no, 2 grams to about micrograms. Micrograms worth of polluted oxygen now. Albeit it is... The heat is a little bit worrying, to say the least. But it seems to be dissipating way before it even gets to the gas pump. Yeah. Thermal tolerance. Oh, is it going into the crude oil? No, it's not. State change. Yeah, no idea. But yeah, this pump is really, really good for very, very small areas. I wish I knew that earlier. Yeah. It is really good. Man, I'm really upset now. Man, I wish I knew this way before I started pumping out the entire system. The fun bit is I can even install them inside the actual boiler portion, and they would probably work better than just have everything trickle down. Oh. Okay. That might be mildly problematic. I see. So I will deconstruct that. Was that you? I think that was you. Oh, that was you. Okay, I panicked for a second. Oh, job done. Nice. Okay, go ahead and rebuild that, and then... Okay, so F2, deconstruct that, F6, F7, all of that, and then F7 again, buildings, that, and that. And I would go ahead and start it again, but I'm not going to do that yet because very simple. I want to make sure that none of these resources are, well, here. Okay, so I'll have that move to right there, and this move here, critical. Sandstone, same spot, gold amalgam, same spot. Mainly because anything that's there is an additional heatsink, which is unneeded. But I will say this lead may be fair. Well, it's a large concern of mine. And this is how the pump is supposed to work. Without stop. And now the fun bit. Empty, critical. Again, my hope is that it doesn't spill over the side. Okay. Now it's all my turn. I hope... Yeah, you are minorly causing me to panic because I think you're something entirely different. Okay, so I think I just need to wait 7.6 cycles to get this thing done. So, or for this thing to run again. So I'll see you all then, just to make sure that this design is right. Because if not, then... Well, if it's not, then I can show you how I'm going to fix it. Because, honestly, if you all are playing along with me, if you're playing along with a video, at least I find it helpful if they explain how to fix a problem that they encountered. So what I'm going to do is, as soon as this erupts again, I will I'll resume recording, and then see if the lava drip, or whatever you want to call it, works. If not, I'll show you how to fix it on camera. So I'll see you all then. Alright, I'm back, and I'm going to trigger this to see what happens. Okay. So the design works. If you all are wondering, it's the it needs to be exactly 10. So from where you have your 1 block gap, like this, it needs to be 10, or from where it becomes 1 block thick, it needs to be 10 away. So I'll go ahead and switch that to below and go ahead and see what happens here. Because that takes about 25 seconds, give or take. All the lava falls down. You're kidding me. Oh no. Well, that's not good. And wonderful. The entire thing's broken in here. How great. Dang it. Well, that's not good. I thought I made it out of lead. I seriously thought I made it out of lead. Apparently I didn't. Uh-oh. That was the copper wire melting. Oh, no. Okay. Okay. So I have gold. This is not good. I'll set that to priority 1 right now because, of course, I do this. I'll make this out of iron, so hopefully this time it doesn't melt. You are brave. You are very, very brave. Or idiotic, I can't tell. But the filter gate being made out of tungsten. Tungsten melts at what? 3,000. Okay. Everything should be all right. All I need to do is get a little bit of oil in this system. Who am I kidding? A lot of oil in this system. But I will go ahead and have that get made. Oh man, I seriously can't believe I did that. I mean, to be fair, I don't have any cooling tech. And the pipes. The pipes too. Aw, man. I don't even have the tungsten to fix that. Dang it. Okay. I guess that's to be expected. Okay, well, now I know the system works. The system will be down for quite a while until I can get a new sensor in place, but that'll have to wait until way after I fix this entire thing. I mean, one thing I can go ahead and do is Shift F2 and disconnect that. That will prevent any more new magma from coming in. So I'll just do that for now, while I focus on pumping this area out. It should be nearly done, I hope. And apparently, this pump is constantly complaining about it not being in gas, even though it is quite clear, or it quite clearly is. Oh my lord. Yeah, it's getting late. I'm getting tired. Okay, so really wish I looked at that. I could have sworn it wasn't made out of lead. And I'm still missing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. More than 6? 20. Okay. I'll go ahead and have that yellow alert so I can hopefully finish the rest of these liquid pipes so I can then go ahead and move on to the next phase, which is quite simply just I don't need eggshell, don't need poke shell, and don't need poke shell again. Don't need. So now it should only be the tungsten. There we go. Thank you. And then what I will also do when I get a second is go like that. And then also check that. I'll go and print another Weezwort. Okay, good to know this works. Unfortunately, I have to fix it now. Fortunately, that is simple enough. And I really wish I knew that move command existed a while ago. Because that makes life so much easier. Okay. So as soon as all this tungsten is done, I'll turn this off of yellow alert, but okay. There we go. Oh. I didn't realize that there was nothing there. Okay. So yeah, I just simply need to get some oil in. Which will be very, very easy. That should... I doubt that's going to be enough, but my hope is that helps. And if not, then I'm going to be in trouble. And micrograms of gas now. Okay. Grams of gas. Oh my lord, there's a lot of gas. Okay. There's a lot of gas over here. So that makes me think there's a gas producer, but it doesn't look like it. Okay, I'm curious to see what happens here. It is heating up. That's exactly what I want. Good. Okay. I'll have that emptied. Honestly, it may just explode into a little packet. Or into not a little packet, but right onto the floor. I mean, once it actually reaches its boiling point. Oh, no. Uh-oh. That's not good. Wait. It's heating up very, very slowly. Which is really good news for me. Wait. Can I just drop a whole bunch of raw minerals on that and call it a day? Because, I mean, I would say that chunked off a decent amount of heat, but... Truly, my goal is to get this entire mess fixed, because I can't believe I made that mistake. I really thought it was steel, but apparently it wasn't. It was... I won't say the metal, but one of the metals with the lowest melting point. One of the metals... Yeah. I think the next one up would be gold. So you turn into magma. Oh no. How about abyssite? Ah, abyssite. You won't turn into magma. And you'll be a very, very good heat sink. Okay. Wonderful. I think I see a little bit more abyssite. That might just be sandstone. It probably is sandstone if I'm going to be perfectly honest. Oh, yeah. That really took over, didn't it? Oh, you have to make multiple trips. Wonderful. Okay. Oh, it doesn't conduct heat. No. Well, that's annoying. I was hoping I could use it as sort of a, well, exactly what I said, a way to drain a lot of heat. Unfortunately, it didn't work. Or, yeah, it didn't work. But I know I have obsidian. 500 kilograms of it. I really hope no one goes back in here. At least not yet. Four more. Okay. So close. And I just want to make... Yeah, that's exactly how I want it. To... Let me go ahead and also yellow alert those to get them done. Oh. Dang it. That should be fine, I hope. There it is. Now it's starting to overheat. I mean, to be fair, it did take a while. Oh, no. I just realized I have a normal tile sitting in between the two areas. Uh-oh. Okay, yep. There we go. Okay, there we go. Yes. That's exactly what I wanted. Go ahead and continue transferring. None of it's going to melt, I will say. Oh, wait, what's the melting point of copper? Yeah. Okay, thank you. Copper. 1,000. The thermosensor is getting real hot. Okay. Okay, I wanted that to happen, actually. That's a good sign. That means it is cooling. Oh, yes, that means it is cooling. And yeah, I'll have to manually clear it out. I'm not worried about that in the slightest. Thankfully, this obsidian is being a really amazing heatsink. I was worried this would not work. It is working. So if you ever have something that's too hot, you can just simply use obsidian to cool it down. I would say that's a good tip to keep track of. Oh, wait. Oh, no. Well, that's annoying. Could be a lot worse, but doesn't make it any less annoying. And that completely cooled it back down. Alright. I love these mini gas pumps. I'll say it. And honestly, if I really need to, I can make a geothermal plant, like right in here. That's how I'm going to power all of the oil wells with a geothermal power plant. Don't know why I didn't think of it, but hey. Or initially think of it. But I mean, this stuff is going to be really hot when it's dropped in. So 200, right? What's the gold at? 1,000. Ah, I see. And it is still going. Okay. Oxyfern. Okay. Well, anyway, I hope you'll enjoy the video. Please don't forget to leave a like, comment, subscribe, share, all that amazing stuff, and I'll see all of you in the next episode. In the next one, I will hopefully have this all sorted out. So I will see you all then. Bye, guys.